I'm just going to press record, but absolutely, it's so innovative, and I think it's obviously something that we still, I think, lack education on and understanding of, as you say. So to have you here to help explain that is amazing. We've had a little comment from Yulia saying hello. So hello, Yulia, lovely to have you here. And anyone else who would like to say hello that's just joined, please do so, because we can't see you, unfortunately. So yeah, if you can say hello, then it just kind of keeps that interaction, and feel free to put any comments in the chat and ask any questions that you have for Dr. Jo Ward throughout the masterclass and QA. That's absolutely fine. We encourage it. We love it. I suppose we should let's get started. So the theme of our event tonight is like the seas of change. I think we're already feeling that in the weather, aren't we? It's definitely changed the climate, and that affects also how we approach our skincare, but then also thinking about like blue light damage as well and what that actually means. So why is it so important to look after our skin, especially at this time of year?
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I took a coat today. So there is a shift in the temperature. And as the seasons change and we move into autumn and winter, the environment around us changes. We begin to spend more time indoors rather than outside. And often the central heating will go on, and often we'll have longer showers to warm up in the morning, and this all has an impact on our skin. So a lot of people will find that their skin might feel a little bit more dehydrated. It may need richer products or layering of serums much more than in the summertime. In the summertime, we can keep skincare pretty light and still feel hydrated, but sometimes in the winter time we need more, so people might reach for a slightly richer cream or might want to layer serums to get more hydration into the skin, because our skin might feel a bit more dehydrated because of the surrounding environment. The other thing is we're spending more time indoors, and a lot of us are spending a lot of time obviously staring at screens, our phones, our laptops, iPads. We have jumbo and supersized our television screens in the home. In the last, in the last kind of 20 years or so, things have changed enormously, and we've changed our environment in terms of light. If you look behind me, I'm in a very brightly lit room. It's all artificial light, and we are using digital devices more than ever. Some people for 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, working on screens in close proximity to screens. So we need to be aware of the light that is coming from these kinds of technologies, and we know that this light is called high energy visible light, or blue light. So there's an energy involved in this light. It can penetrate deeply into our skin, and we think it can have some significant damaging effects if we are exposed to this kind of chronic and excessive artificial light. So it's just about being aware of it and taking measures in our skincare to add an extra little part into our routine just to prevent digital aging. So as the seasons change, we all go indoors a little bit more. So there's extra hydration, and then also this concept of digital aging and blocking blue light.
As well, I suppose you still have to go for the SPF as well, right, in the winter, but
yes,
and also all time of year, but I suppose more important, even more important when we're inside, yes, artificial light, and even more time spent in front of those screens.
Yes, SPF doesn't come out of your routine, even though the seasons are changing, because ultraviolet light still penetrates through windows. It's still there in the winter months. It's a complete myth that it's only there at the beach, you know. Ultraviolet light is one of the most damaging things to our skin. It accelerates the aging of our skin enormously. And so we should all be wearing sun protection all year round, no matter what country we live in. Even though we consider ourselves living in a colder country, the ultraviolet radiation is there. Even though you can't see it, it is there. Yeah, absolutely. It's there all through the seasons.
Does that apply even if you're like inside all day? I know we talked about blue light and making sure, but even would you still need SPF protection even if you were inside?
Well, it can come through windows. So yes, most rooms have windows. We don't live in boroughs. And we don't anymore exist by candlelight, which our ancestors used to. So we have all this wonderful modern technology, modern light, but it's all artificial. And so, yeah, because of those changes, we need to protect our skin from UV light, so UVA and UVB that come from the sun, and this high energy visible light or blue light that is in all your smartphone devices, all your laptops and screens, basically.
So how does the threat to the skin health, how does that differ between like UV and blue light?
It can be quite hard to tell the difference, and it's thought that blue light super kind of enhances the damage of UV as well, so they kind of buddy up together. So the changes that you see are very similar to ultraviolet radiation. So we see photo damage in the skin, we see hyperpigmentation, which means uneven skin tone. We see some skin barrier changes and sensitivity in the skin and some accelerated lines and wrinkles. So they share very similar kind of ways that they affect the skin and show up on the skin. So it's very hard to decipher between the two. Sun protection will prevent some blue light and high energy visible light damaging the skin. But I think if you can take an extra measure, then there are some slightly more specific ingredients that we can use as well.
I think we've got a question from Yulia. For UV, we have SPF, but for blue light, do they work, or is there some kind of other filters?
Sure. So yes, sun protection will give you an amount of protection, but those of us in the dermatology world are suggesting a couple of extra measures to protect from blue light or high energy visible light. They're the same thing in the skin. So blue light penetrates even more deeply than UVA and UVB. And one of the best ways to block it is by using a combination of antioxidants. So antioxidants are these amazing molecules that reduce inflammation in the skin, certain specific antioxidants. So for example, we're going to be talking about a brand today called Digital Defense, aren't we?
Yeah.
Digital Defense are exciting because they've actually got a product or a range of products. They have 5 different products that are clinically evidenced to block 100% blue light. So they've made it so easy for us. They've done all the hard work, and I'm sure more skincare brands will come on board and do this too, but they have taken the measures that we need.
They've got the clinical trials, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's been their focus. They are a brand dedicated to the protection and repair mechanisms to do with blue light. So their products contain a very synergistic combination of powerful antioxidants that protect against blue light.
And actually, what are those ingredients? I think it's quite good to understand what they are.
Yeah, so they looked at about 60 different antioxidants, and they found that the most beneficial was lycopene, which you find, it's a very powerful antioxidant that you find in tomatoes.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Verbascum, knotgrass, and rice oil. So these 4 were found to have synergistic capabilities and together worked powerfully to block blue light. Now, there are other antioxidants that are great for the skin as well. So another very well-known one is vitamin C. It's probably the most evidenced antioxidant that we've had for a very long time. That's really good for helping prevent UV radiation, for brightening the skin and stabilizing pigmentation, but it doesn't have as good efficacy for blue light. So that's where I think there's a real exciting process going on in the formulation of skincare brands, where they're coming up with protection and shields against digital aging for us.
And it's also the color in the product as well. Is that right? In terms of that affects the filter. The orange, is it the orange?
Color in the product. The colors are all, the product is a kind of milky white color. So it's not the color of the product, but there are filters that block blue light, and it's called Digitech. So the Digitech technology that has combined these lovely antioxidants for us that block the blue light, so the high energy visible light.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense. If there's anyone has got any questions, please do ask what during the chat. But I also, what I actually love about Digital Defense is that it's also organic and it's vegan, which for a brand to have those credentials plus all the clinical trials, it's really quite extraordinary.
Yeah, it's plant-based, organic and vegan. And I think consumers these days are really kind of they're voting with their dollar. Nobody these days wants any beauty products that have been tested on animals where possible. You know, I think we're really trying, all of us, to be more climate sensitive and more sensitive about these kind of the greater issues that face the human population. So we want, you know, ingredients that are good for our skin, that aren't, you know, spreading any nanotoxins and things like that. So it is a lovely range because, you know, you can be safe, it's organic, there's, you know, no toxins and contaminants, so it's lovely.
Should we actually have a little look through the range then and talk it through? Because we've got...
Yeah, sure. I've got mine here. Do you have some?
I do have some, yeah. Whoop. You brought the whole thing down there. I have actually been trying it and it is delicious. So good.
Lovely. So let me get on my bits and bobs. Okay, one more. Okay, I have the whole range. Why don't we start with the cleanser, because that's the obvious place to start. Yeah, these are my ones. So, well, why don't I also explain as we go along why cleansing is important. So cleansing is the hallmark of great skin health. The reason that we clean the skin morning and evening is because it's such an important step. So it's removing toxins, it's removing pollution particles that can get stuck and buried in the skin. Cleansing is removing your kind of cosmetic residue and makeup. So it's really important. And they've shown that studies on most of us show that we do cleansing within about 10 to 20 seconds and then it's done.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, it should be a bit longer. So the idea is 1 to 2 minutes, really kind of ritualistic, massaging the product all over the face. This is a gorgeous kind of lovely, milky, very lightweight product. It's got jojoba and shea butter in it. It's really beautiful. And it's just important to spend 1 to 2 minutes cleaning the skin, because otherwise those ingredients don't have long enough time.
So would you recommend, like, you maybe do a double cleanse or something? So you cleanse and then you remove the makeup and then maybe do it again and leave it on the skin for a few minutes?
Yeah, so I am a fan of double cleansing, and I think if you've been wearing makeup during the day, or if you live and work in an urban environment, we need to be aware of pollution on the skin as well. So double cleansing will allow you to you know, thoroughly clean the skin, because it's amazing. Even after a cleanse, you can take a toning pad and you still get grime on the skin. So I think a double cleanse is lovely. Some people sometimes use like an oil-based cleanser first to remove makeup, or micellar waters are quite great for makeup. And then this is ideal, kind of a really lightweight cleansing milk. All of these digital defense products, every single one of them contains that Digitech technology. So that's important, because that Digitech technology is those 4 wonderful antioxidants that I mentioned. So lycopene, verbascum, knotgrass, and rice oil. And so every single product has that benefit as well. So cleansing, really, really important, removing your cellular debris, and also making way for the serums to come along and the moisturizers to deliver their ingredients unobstructed by all the debris on the skin.
So it increases their efficacy almost, because you're clearing it.
Yeah.
And I just want recap, because I think I glossed over it, and it's really important what you said about allowing the cleanser time to sit on the skin, because I know I gotta put it on and take it off. So it's really important that you actually get benefits of it, right? Otherwise you're not making the most of it.
100%, yeah. I mean, skincare is all about ingredients. That's what you're really paying for, and that's what excites us. It's about ingredients and what they do for your skin and on your skin. So if the cleanse is too quick, you're not going to achieve what you want it to, and you'll start collecting debris in the skin and maybe even having breakouts and things like that.
And the ingredients, particular special ingredients within the cleanser, because it smells gorgeous.
Yeah, there's jojoba and shea butter, which are rich in vitamin A and E. So we've got some nice vitamins there, just calming and nice and cleansing and exfoliating.
Sounds lovely. So then if there's another preparation product in the range? I've got an exfoliating mask here.
Yeah, so this is a white bamboo and cranberry with white clay exfoliating mask. So this might be something that you do maybe once or twice a week to exfoliate the skin. I think you shouldn't over exfoliate, so it's not a product for every single day, but it's lovely. I used it last night actually, just to get radiant for today.
It is really, I've tried it as well, and it is really lovely. It's the oaty, and you can sort of just feel it soothing the skin instantly.
Yeah, it's got some nice mild enzymes as well, so it's going to deliver an effective exfoliation, which is what you actually want. White clays are great for purifying the skin and removing toxins. So what you do with this one is you allow it on the skin for about 5 minutes, and then you gently massage, so that again you've got to have that contact with the skin so that the clay and the enzymes can have some effect. And then you rinse it off, but your skin just feels divine afterwards. It's really lovely.
And it's not harsh either, because it's
no, it isn't.
It's not got a harsh kind of beads in it or anything that's going to like strip the skin. It's completely nourishing, but yet exfoliating.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved away from kind of microplastics in these kinds of scrubs, and so we're looking at natural ingredients, so white bamboo and cranberry, that kind of thing, nice and organic, good for the skin, but deeply exfoliating. So yeah, this one is truly lovely, but maybe once or twice a week only.
Yeah, don't overdo it.
Yeah.
So then we move into the protect and repair.
Yes.
You can see how much I've used already. It's fine. So good.
Oh, look, mine's kind of...
You're beating me.
I go through this. So once you've got that beautifully cleansed skin, you've got just a really, really, really lightweight, gorgeous... again, I mean, I don't like my products to be too fragrant, but this is gorgeous. And I think if a product has a nice feel, a nice texture, and a nice calming smell, we are more inclined, studies have shown we're more inclined to use them. So this is a triple action serum, again with Digitech technology. It's been designed to be used morning and evening. We're placing it onto the skin in the morning because it's got an abundance of antioxidants, so we're kind of flooding our skin cells with antioxidants. Antioxidants also shield the skin from environmental pollution, from blue light, obviously, from UV radiation. The other thing antioxidants do in the skin, and your listeners will want to know this because this is really important, is they neutralize something called free radicals. So free radicals are these kind of unstable molecules in the skin. They're always there, but they cause something called oxidation. Now, oxidation or oxidative damage is a way that the skin ages in a very accelerated fashion. The best example I can give you of oxidation, you know, when you take an apple and you cut it in half and you leave it on the kitchen counter and it browns, it becomes very brown. It still tastes the same, but that is rapid oxidation of the apple. The same thing happens inside our bodies to every tissue, unfortunately, every single day. Oxidation is happening. So it's almost like a biochemical rusting. Antioxidants are amazing because they neutralize that oxidative damage. They neutralize free radicals, which are these unstable molecules that damage our collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid. So everyone definitely needs an antioxidant somewhere in their regime. We use them in the morning and the evening because in the evening, our skin repairs itself. So every organ in the body at night, when we go to sleep, goes into reparative mode. So your brain cleanses itself, your skin is repairing itself from the day's cellular damage, the toxins that it was exposed to, the oxidation. So there's a repair process that's happening all the time. And so antioxidants help quell any damage and just neutralize the oxidation that's gone on during the day.
Is that what happens as the brain waves slow down? Then the body starts to heal itself.
Yeah, and there is a big problem in that so many of us are hyper alert at night because we're watching all these screens that are stimulating. You know, blue light has quite a stimulating and disruptive effect to our circadian rhythm, which is our natural cycle of day and night. And it's thought that because a lot of us are on our screens and phones late at night and even just before bedtime, that we're really disrupting the body's ability to go into rest and repair mode and to relax and to switch off. So that's an indirect way that it's then having a knock-on effect that when we don't rest as well, all those repair mechanisms are maybe being compromised as well.
They have to work even harder, don't they?
Yeah. And so we're just in this kind of hyper excited state after lots of blue light. So people are using screen blockers to block blue light from screens. And there are some ways of turning this kind of stuff off so that you can take some of the high energy visible light. And then some people even wear blue light blocking glasses, you may have seen.
I have seen people do that.
They almost have like a yellowy colour to them. But people wear them often.
Biohackers tend to wear them. They don't.
Yeah, they do. But probably for good reason, because if you're exposed to too much of this light, you are affecting something very important in your brain, which is melatonin. Now, melatonin is produced in the pineal gland in the brain. It's very, very important. It's one of our most wonderful antioxidants in the body. It's a real master antioxidant. And if you disrupt that too much, we think it links to increased cancer rates and all kinds of long-term health problems, increased obesity rates and things like that. So it's actually really important that we all learn to either reduce our screen time or block a little bit of that light and protect ourselves so that we maintain our night and day cycles.
That's really interesting. Does that also relate to how much kind of natural light that you get as well, and ensuring that you get enough?
Yeah, so we think that a really good idea is to go out. So a lot of biohackers, for example, will say, go out into the morning light, you know, really tell your brain and your body, this is daytime, it's daylight, because humans, our ancestors used to live by that rhythm of night and day. And before electricity, obviously, there was a lot of darkness. So people were working by candlelight and things like that. But obviously now we can be 24/7 in light if we want or need to be. So we have changed our relationship and our environment with light, and these skincare measures are just reflecting kind of this technology, and light isn't going to go anywhere. It's here to stay.
Yeah.
We made our lives great and convenient and brought these amazing modern conveniences, but it's just being aware of them and protecting against them and making sure that we don't come to harm.
Absolutely. It's skincare for 21st century living, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost like our minds, our brains almost need to catch up with technology, and we need to kind of look after ourselves, like obviously with skincare externally, but also internally from wellness and understanding of the impact of all this blue light and what it has on us, from a well-being perspective. I think it's paramount.
Yeah. So then the next thing, should I talk about the eye cream?
Because the eyes always get forgotten about.
Yeah. So the eyes do get forgotten about, and we mustn't, because when I work in clinic, this is one area that people present to me with accelerated aging. So the skin around your eye is 10 times thinner than the skin in other parts of the face. So it's exposed, because of its thinness, to accelerated aging. If we don't protect it, it can become very thin and crepey quite rapidly. So actually, there's a couple of things that we need to do to protect the eye. Obviously, something like this is lovely. This is Digital Defense. This is their dual action eye cream. Chamomile, calendula, argan oil. So rich in vitamins. It's got Digitech, of course, as well. A very lightweight. It's lovely. So you're not going to get
so light.
Yeah, very nice. And always make sure you put it on the upper lid as well,
actually.
Oh,
is it lower underneath okay?
Underneath and all
and
around,
upper.
Really, yeah. And make sure kind of around the crow's feet areas as well, just kind of pat. It's lovely. So this has got obviously the blue light blocking technology. The other thing that people can do to protect the eye and prevent that really accelerated aging is to wear good sunglasses. You know, really nice big sunglasses are very on trend at the moment, but they're very good at protecting the area. Obviously our eye can be damaged by UV light and blue light as well. So if we have a lens that protects our eye, then that's really important. And I think the other thing that a lot of people don't do is put your sun cream around the eye. People forget the eye and the ears. So in dermatology units, we see a lot of skin cancer on people's ears, particularly men, because they forget this area gets UV all the time. So this is a hot spot for skin cancer, and this is a hot spot for aging. So a good tip is to find yourself a really great sun protector that you can also tolerate all the way around the eyes, and obviously place it everywhere, neck, décolletage and hands. Because a lot of people don't put sun protection anywhere near their eye. They're too scared to. And some people do react. You know, we've all used sun protectors where we're like, oh, my eye's stinging, you start watering. So that one's not for you. But there are plenty that are kind of non-allergenic that you will be able to bring right up to protect that very delicate tissue from aging.
Some eye creams, the SPFs in as well. Would that work?
Yeah. I mean, you should be able to find an SPF that can cover everywhere, but there are some eye SPFs as well. If you're very intolerant, you might be better with a mechanical sun protector rather than a chemical one. So something with zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. They tend to be the ones better for people who get quite irritated by sun protectors around the eye.
So they're not no chemicals at all. It's more mineral based.
Yeah, they're mineral based. They tend to be the ones that can look a bit ghosty and quite heavy and white, although they have come a long way in recent years. So they have become much more sophisticated. There are some great ones. But that's a good tip as well, is don't forget your sunblock in all of these really kind of delicate areas, and your hands as well.
And what advice would you give to anybody that has already maybe got a few lines under their eyes? I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Is there anything that they can do, apart from cosmetic surgery to kind of reverse that, or is it just simply just trying to protect and stop any more damage?
Well, always protect first, and then sometimes it's an issue of hydration. So there's a really nice trick. So if you get like a pure hyaluronic acid gel or serum, gels are quite good because they can stay put, but I do an eye treatment for myself where if I'm looking a bit crepey and tired, I'll take a hyaluronic gel and just pat it so that there's lots and lots and lots of it all around my eye. I go to sleep with it feeling really quite wet, but through the night it just absorbs into the skin. Hyaluronic acid is the most powerful hydrator of the skin. It can bind 1,000 times its weight in water. So it's a powerful hydrator. It's just perfect for thirsty skin. And again, a lot of people do forget to bring all their kind of hydrating and nourishing ingredients up close to the eye. Yeah, so often we kind of stop. The skin around the eye is delicate, so you might not be able to use some of your strong ingredients or actives, but hyaluronic acid.
That's safe enough. That's fine.
Beautiful. Low molecular weight hyaluronic acid is just amazing.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much.
Eye mask with hyaluronic.
Perfect. I'll be trying that.
Yeah.
My eyes need all the help they can get. So.
Yes.
Well, this has been absolutely wonderful. I don't know if we have any more questions or if there's anything else that you would like to sort of leave us, any words of wisdom you would like to leave us with. Well,
we didn't cover the night cream, so I was just going to say, well, it's like a day and night cream, but
yes, of course. Okay. Yes. No, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Night cream.
Only because it's so lovely. This one's really nice because it's got extract of bearberry and licorice. So another concern that a lot of people have is pigmentation. Particularly if they've been exposed to a lot of sunlight. And I also mentioned, obviously, blue light can cause a bit of hyperpigmentation in the skin. So it's really nice to have products that can help balance that. And this night cream obviously has the Digitech technology, so it's got those 4 powerful antioxidants that block the blue light, but it also has extracts of bearberry and licorice. So these are natural ingredients that help suppress excess pigmentation or overactivity of your pigment cells. And the other nice thing is that, we were talking about that cycle of repair. This can be used morning and evening. At nighttime, it's a protect and repair. So it protects against the blue light, but it helps that reparative process as well from all of the day's toxins and collagen renewal and things like that. And obviously stabilizing pigment. And also it's lovely and lightweight. So, I mean, I break out a lot with products. If I have anything too heavy and rich and occlusive, I get spots, hormonal spots all over the place. So I like it just because it's lovely and lightweight and it's not occlusive.
It feels lightweight, but also feels super, almost rich and hydrating at the same time.
Yeah, it's nice, really nice.
Lovely. I love it. And I also love the fact that you don't have to buy different products for night and day.
Yes.
And they've got dual purpose, which I think is also wonderful.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to take the repair upper level, then a great ingredient, not in this range, but just an ingredient to be aware of is retinol. So retinol is obviously vitamin A, but it's a fabulous ingredient for up-regulating your skin cycle. It's just a multitasker. It's good if you've got any superficial fine lines, wrinkles, superficial scarring. It beautifully kind of resurfaces very superficial scars. It stimulates your fibroblast cell, which is where your collagen lives, to create new collagen. So retinol really helps tap into that repair cycle as well. And it's an ingredient that we only use at night.
So yes, because of the risk of sun damage. So
yes, so there's a double-edged sword with retinol. Yes. It helps that renewal cycle. So if you have been exposed to a lot of toxins and a lot of UV radiation, obviously repair at night is what we want, but it can make you a bit photosensitive. So you do have to wear a sun protector every day, but that should be happening anyway. But yeah, that's just another ingredient that's quite nice to be aware of.
And when would you apply the retinol? Would that be after a cleanse? Sorry.
Yeah, at night time, it depends what kind of formulation it is. If it's a serum, then, well, let's go over that quickly. So it's always cleanse, tone, serum. So anything lightweight goes before moisturizers. So they are typically more creams. And then your retinol, or you can mix your retinol in. So it depends whether it's a booster retinol that might go into your night cream, or it could be a retinol serum, in which case put it in as a serum. So the way we layer skincare is from lightest to richest. So really light hydrating serums go on first, and then you put your kind of creams, and then at the end in the morning is obviously your sun protector. So that always lasts, and then makeup or whatever.
Got it. I think so. That makes it really clear. Actually, it's the lightest and then heaviest.
Yes, lightest to heaviest or richest.
Sounds great. Yuli's asked a question. Does the cream doesn't have perfume? I'm checking the website because my skin sometimes reacts to something in perfume skincare. But this looks amazing as ingredients. So exciting. Yes, it does have a slight fragrance, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I don't know what the fragrance is, I'm afraid, but I can tell you this: I use it for my patients with rosacea who have incredibly sensitive skin. So, and they have an impaired skin barrier function. And a lot of my rosacea patients are so sensitive that they've bought all kinds of products and can't really use them, unfortunately. So some of the active ingredients, even things like retinol, can really irritate someone who's got very sensitive skin. So you do have to be careful. But the nice thing is this range seems to sit really well with them. Even some vitamin C's I can't use on my rosacea patients, even though they'd be ideal because their skin barrier function is disturbed, and it would be good to get vitamin C as an antioxidant onto their skin, but I can't always do that. So this gives me a nice alternative with some effective antioxidants. So I think, Yulia, you will be fine because I can put it on even my most sensitive patients with no trouble. So it should be okay, but of course, check the website. Skincare brands always list ingredients. Some people will be sensitive to certain ingredients, and you have to be, aware of them, and you have to shop around very carefully if you do have allergies or sensitivities in skincare.
Thank you. And so before we end the session tonight, I just want to let everybody know there is actually an amazing giveaway that we've got live. So I'm just putting the link in the chat because Digital Defence have kindly offered to give away 3 sets of the routine. So it includes the cleanser, the serum and the moisturizer. It's worth over £100 to 3 lucky winners. So I've just put the link in, so hopefully you can all see that. And we just want to see your faces, your beautiful natural skin. So just upload your pics for your chance to win. And I just want to say a massive thank you to you, Dr. Jo, for spending this time with us and sharing all your amazing knowledge with us.
My pleasure. Learned something.
It's been really enlightening. I've really had a really good time and learned so much, and I know that our community members have as well. And just a little request to anybody on the masterclass tonight, if you could leave a little comment for Dr. Jo on the event page, it would just be really nice because we can't keep them on here, so it's just nice to have them forever on the event page. So I just post the link here, and oh, Yulia, you can't see the link. Can you? I put it on the. You should. It's on the chat. Let's see if that one works. Does that work? Let me know if you've got the links. There should be 2 links there. One to the competition, and the other one to the event page. You've got it. Excellent. We'd love to hear your comments. And thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much, Dr. Jo Ward. Bye. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.